Hi there. It is the very end of August. You can hear there's some chainsawing going on. That's my nephew taking care of a dead tree. Hope it's not too loud. Anyways, while he's available, we're going to also try to clean out the corner where the gutter is. I'll try to get a better shot in a second. And to help with that, I am currently in the process of toning down, trimming down, cutting back my dappled willow. Hang on just a second, let me turn you around. Alright, so I've already started, but you can kind of sort of get an idea of the scale here. This guy is all the way up to the gutters, and I have 9-foot ceilings on my main floor. So that's probably in the neighborhood of 10 feet tall, or approaching it. And it was even wider than what you can see because I've already worked my way around most of the back. You can see I have a pile here of branches. There's some more in my kangaroo pop-up bag. Here's some from the one side. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just going through and trying to cut back, just basically cutting it back, making it not so large. In the process, I'm also trying to look, and if I find branches that are crossing over each other, then I'm picking one that is heading away from the inside of the shrub and keeping that one and cutting off any, if I can, that are going into the center mass. These shrubs grow very quickly. This shrub was cut back pretty severely last fall, so just a year ago, and as you can see, it has grown quite a bit. It was down to here and several feet away from the back of the house, kind of like I've gotten it now. So you can see there's several feet here between the back and the house. That's how far I cut it back in the back last year, and it was all the way to where it was brushing against the house with some of its branches. So you can see got quite a pile here, got some in the kangaroo bag over there. So I'm going to continue. My goal is to get it so that it's more about this tall and try to preserve kind of a rounded shape but still somewhat free form. I'm doing it now, so it has a little bit of a chance to recover before winter, but these shrubs are incredibly hardy. I would say they could withstand anything. However, the one that I cut way back in the spring because it was looking really sad, it wasn't leafing out everywhere, it had some branches that looked like they were dead or dying. We finally gave the ghost up on that one today, and nephew helped, and it is no more. We have taken out the root, as much of the root ball as we can, and the stuff that's still underground will just kind of decompose on its own. We'll see. Maybe in the spring it'll send up some shoots, but I am thinking I'm going to go get something different, maybe some kind of hydrangea or something to go on this corner. Maybe it was just a little too shaded in this spot. As you can see right now, it is early afternoon. It's just, I don't know, maybe like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it's already starting to be in the shade. There's some trees over here that way that are, as the afternoon goes on, this is going to become pretty shaded. As you can see, we've got hostas here, and these in this area are looking pretty good. So I think maybe it just was a little too much shade. I don't think it also helped we had a really wet spring, which actually the willow should have liked, but I think the combination of maybe a little too much shade and a very wet spring maybe did this guy in. So this one's gone. This one, we're going to see if giving it a good trim will help keep it healthy. We'll see how this one shows up in the spring. It's been looking pretty good this year, but it definitely is a type of a shrub that requires a pretty intensive fall, late summer prune cutback in order to keep it from becoming too much like a tree. The root structure on that one that we just took out, there were branches that were at least this big around down towards the ground, and this one has some pretty hefty branches as well. You can see there with my hand for scale. I mean, these are bigger around than my thumb. So this is, although it looks very willowy, wispy, if you don't keep things trimmed up and cut back every year, you will get some branching that is like a tree trunk. Here, you can see this main trunk right here. Look at this. This is probably at least 2 fingers in diameter. So these are some hefty, substantial branches. So you want to try to keep things more wispy like this. And so that's part of, as I'm going through here, I'm trying to cut some things back that are starting to get a little extra big. And then in here where this stuff is crisscrossy, all of that is going to come out to try to make sure we're maintaining a good amount of airflow in there so we don't get any fungal or other types of diseases. So I will get you back on here once I get this done and let you see what it looks like all trimmed up. She may look kind of sad, just a warning. Okay, I'm done, at least for today. You can see I've taken it down almost by half. I know a lot of experts would say you usually don't want to take something down more than by about 1/3. So we'll see. It's a little bit lopsided. You can see on this side, it's like it's a little fuller and a little bunch right there. So I'm gonna wait, take a look at it again tomorrow and see if I still feel like it's a little lopsided. I might touch it up a little bit, but definitely a way better airflow. Let me turn, get you in closer so you can see. You can now see through the shrub. That means that air can flow much more easily. The back side I was a little more severe. Here's some more branches I just was throwing. You can see all of this came off. All of this plus the kangaroo bag is full. Let me see if I can crawl back to where you can see in the back. So you can see the back is significantly thinner than the front. Did that last year and it seemed like it did okay. So we'll see. I tried to get things that were real crisscrossy. A lot of the branches that I left on, I trimmed them back. And the way I did that was I just kind of grabbed a handful like this and kind of tugged on it gently and then took my clippers and clipped between my hand and the shrub. And then that helped thin it down a little bit, trim it back. So we'll see how this does. Standing at this angle, you can see this right here probably needs to come off. But like I said, I'm going to wait and look at it from a couple different angles. That's something that's really important when you are trimming shrubbery, especially things that are have any kind of scale to them. You want to frequently take a step back, take a look at your shape, and see if you need to make adjustments after looking at it from lots of different angles. So there we have late summer, early fall, starting to do a little bit of cleanup where we can. Thanks for joining me here in Aunt Susan's garden.